Hey guys, I am on board a 2020 Absolute 62 Fly. She is for sale, and we think she's one of the best pre-owned Absolute 62 Fly boats on the market. You've likely done your research on the Absolute brand. Absolute is a very modern company, only about 25 years old, using very modern construction techniques in Italy to build a very limited number of boats worldwide. And the factory, which is kind of hard to see, they don't show it readily, but it looks like a place where they make Tesla automobiles. It's the most modern manufacturing boat facility I've ever seen in my life. And the technology that they're using to build these boats is incredibly impressive. And that technology results in an incredibly rigid monocoque style construction, which allows Absolute to, number one, have exceptional rigidity and strength underway, but also have the biggest windows in its class for all of their models, which really contributes to the exceptionally open and spacious feel of Absolute yachts, both above decks and below decks. Now, the Absolute 62 Fly is a gem. It's a sport yacht that is also a yacht. Absolute exclusively uses, and has for their entire history as a company, the Volvo IPS pod drive system. And what that means is owner-operators are empowered to run an Absolute like this 62 Fly completely independently. With the joystick system, the maneuverability of the Absolute IPS drive makes it very easy to maneuver and captain a boat on your own. However, this boat has a professional captain who is obsessive with detail, both aesthetically and mechanically. You'll see that this boat aesthetically looks brand new and mechanically is perfect. This captain formerly worked on cargo ships, and he is obsessive about mechanical reliability and safety, and it shows. Should you survey this boat, you'll see that proven. So the Absolute 62 Fly 2020 here in South Florida, we think it's the best one on the market. If you're in the market for an Absolute, especially a 62 Fly, you should come take a look because we know you'll be impressed. So we're going to show you a few features of this boat. We're going to show you the interior of this actual boat that's for sale. I'll tell you, the teak is exceptional. That's that obsessive captain taking care of business. And this 2020 Absolute 62 Fly. So, I love this beautiful sunroof, which works perfectly. As you can see, pristine helm station. Give you a look at the helm station here. And as you can see, upholstery, teak, metalwork. Every inch of this boat has been impeccably maintained. Effectively a new Absolute 62 Fly for a significant discount off of a new boat. So, you see our Fly there. You see our electronic systems up top. So here we are in the cockpit of the 2020 Absolute 62 Fly. It's immaculate. I've been asking this captain for tips on teak restoration because his teak looks better than new teak. We have the beautiful spacious cockpit here. We have a privacy screen that comes down. This wonderful dining table. And I like how this salon opens really nicely so that you have just seamless connection of the cockpit and the main salon, along with the wonderful entertaining area, induction stove, Bosch, and Bosch appliances. And as we enter the main salon, remember, Absolute uses a patented monocoque construction technique. Makes for a very rigid superstructure from the flybridge all the way to the keel. And that's what allows Absolute to use these giant windows both above decks and below decks. Really, no other manufacturer foot for foot has this kind of open, spacious feel. And that is available to Absolute because of their unique patented construction process. So as we come into the main salon, we'll show you the helm real quick. Part of the absolute commitment to boats, their boats being owner operable, is all absolutes have an easy door that opens here. And as you can see, the helm station, immaculate. This boat has 400 hours on the engines and about 350 hours on the generator. This boat also has a Seakeeper gyroscopic stabilizer. A few things about this particular model. The 62 Fly, one thing I like is it will plane at 12 knots. I like a boat that can get up on plane and stay on plane at low speed. A lot of times you want to do that. This boat will stay on plane at 12 knots without trim tabs. This boat will also max out at about 32 plus knots, 36 miles per hour, which is kind of amazing for a 62-foot sport yacht to be able to go that fast. And the interesting thing about absolute fuel curves along with these IPS pods, and again, Absolute has only ever used IPS pods, and every Absolute is designed to optimize the benefits that come from the Volvo IPS pods. But pretty much from 14 knots to 32 knots, your fuel curve is the same. So of course your fuel curve goes up, up, up as you get on plane, get to about 14 knots. From 14 knots to 32, it's essentially flat. So you can run this boat as fast as you want to, as fast as is comfortable in the conditions, because you're really not burning any more fuel. 15 or 30 knots, same fuel burn. So go as fast as you want. This boat goes fast, and it's a lot of fun to run fast. Huge accessibility to all electronic and fuse panels. Many boats hide these around the boat. For owner-operators, they need easy access to this. Now, some customers find the aesthetic to not be appealing, so a lot of times we will put a tint on this glass so that you can't see it, but you know it's here and it's easy to slide open, and if you like it like this, you're good to go. We have another window. Again, for owner-operators, you can speak to crew right outside there. Another Absolute trademark. That window allows both fresh air and ventilation, but just as importantly, communication with your crew at the dock. In the forward VIP. So this is the VIP suite that is in the bow of this boat. Again, huge windows, even below decks. The offset style bed makes it very spacious and easy to walk completely around. Another detail of Absolute that I like is you don't see any air conditioning vents on this boat. Air conditioning vents are unattractive and they cause cold spots, especially if they're blowing right on you. All Absolute air conditioning and climate control systems have a diffused venting system. So under this bed, for example, and throughout this boat are hidden vents that allow the cooling and or heating of this boat to be a very diffused, subtle, and comfortable climate control system. It's one of the many attention to details that Absolute insists on. So makes the boat incredibly comfortable. You don't hear blowing or feel blowing or cold spots or hot spots. The HVAC systems on Absolute are top notch. Another thing that Absolute does that is reflective of the Italian craftsmanship is you see sliding doors throughout these boats. So swinging doors can get clunky, they can be in the way. All Absolutes feature a sliding door. Smooth, hidden away, and exceptionally well crafted. Just so you have twin beds that have their own access to the dayhead, their own private access to the dayhead, and these twin beds can come together electrically at the touch of a button if you want to make a double. The Absolute sliding doors, trademark. I want to point out that I'm 6'5", and you see how much headroom at 6'5" I have even in this boat. And an incredibly spacious master suite. Really nice owner's desk here, workstation, storage, big closet storage there, big TV there. And again, you have that diffused climate control that is really an Absolute trademark. No vents, no cold spots, no hot spots, extremely comfortable. Notice the atrium effect that they get here because you have the big Absolute windshield. This is open, lets lots of natural light down here, makes this really feel like an outdoor style space with lots of natural light. Okay, Here we're on the swim platform of the Absolute 62 Fly. Of course, big spacious platform, lowers down electronically to make tender launch and retrieval extremely easy. Another thing that I like a lot that really comes in handy that many of the Absolutes that come to the United States do not have is this really nice, and just take a look here, Tim, that passerelle that you're walking on right now. That is an electrically extending passerelle that goes up, down, and is easily moved to accommodate access and entry from the stern of the boat to any height dock. Okay, here we are in the engine room, the immaculately clean and exceptionally well-maintained mechanical area of this 2020 62 Absolute Fly. So every Absolute uses IPS Volvo pods. This boat uses the IPS 950 IPS pod system with joystick control, with that virtual anchor capability. And of course, our awesome captain has kept these absolutely dialed in perfectly, and they are at 400 hours. I'm on the Onan generator, which has about 350 hours, and you see how well laid out this engine room is. A nod to Absolute's dedication to owner serviceability. Everything in here is easily identifiable and easily accessed for maintenance and repairs. Strainers, engines, Seakeeper, generator, the really advanced inverter system that Absolute uses. One thing I like about Absolute electronics is you can't make a mistake. If it's all automatic, you don't need to do those manual switches on an Absolute. They really have a cutting edge electronics and inverter system. And Tim's going to just give you a look at the Seakeeper gyroscopic stabilizer right there. And then to conclude our engine room look, I will say that this kind of maintenance, when we do a survey, should you have a serious interest in this boat, you'll see these engines, oil, Seakeeper maintenance records, generator maintenance records, exceptional maintenance records. The captain is really obsessive in a good way and does a fantastic job with the mechanics and safety of this vessel. The Absolute 62 Fly features a nice, comfortable crew quarters with accommodations for two, their own ensuite restroom. Like most owners, this crew quarters is used for storage and so on, so we're not going to show it to you, but it's in excellent condition and a great place for storage, kids, taking a quick shower after you've been swimming without having to go on board. One other thing I'll point out, Tim, is the cockpit helm station on the right side. You see that joystick right over on the right side of the cockpit? Every Absolute comes with that as well. So using the maneuverability of those IPS pods and having access to either the flybridge, the helm, or the cockpit to maneuver this boat, again, makes it very easy to run this boat on your own. It's great if you have a captain, but if you don't, you're going to enjoy this boat tremendously. This boat is designed to be owner operable. So if you have an interest in a pristine 2020 Absolute 62 Fly, and in my opinion, better than a new one. So give me a call, give me a text, Christopher, 561-285-1212. Thank you.